right, welcome everyone. Find your most comfortable position. We'll start with just a little bit of swaying left to right, really gently, as if you are an ocean wave or just organically moving, however quickly or slowly, however big or small the movements are. We're just kind of harnessing this relaxation response. Like lots of times, little kids love to be in a swing or on a rocking horse, or you can imagine cradling a baby. And we can stimulate that same sort of relaxation from these gentle movements, kind of a self soothing situation. And then maybe you rock a little bit forward and back if that feels good in your body, thinking about your core. And if you feel really strong today, you might make bigger movements. And if you feel like actually a small movement is better for me today, great, do that. And just kind of feeling into how the body is reacting and responding. And if it feels like this is a lot or this is too much, just ease off. There's no pressure to be the best. We're just approaching with curiosity. And then come back to your nice tall seat, and we'll do some shoulder stuff, maybe one by one, as if you're, kind of a swimming motion. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears and back down, switching directions if you were going backwards, going forwards, or vice versa. Again, just kind of lubricating the joints and putting some organic movement into the body. Lovely. Moving into the hands, the arms, the wrists. Again, you can play around with this and be really silly and big movements, or you can do smaller, gentler movements, may turn it into a dance, whatever feels great for you today. And then maybe you want to add in some twisting. Again, this can be really organic and fluid. You can also stay in one position for a while if it feels better to linger in your body. We're just getting things warmed up so that when we come into some stillness, the body's prepared for that and the body feels able to relax. Lovely. And then if you have any other movements that your body is craving right now, a stretch, or a posture, or if you need to readjust, uncross the legs, or move things around, or put something behind your low back, see if you can come up with a position that's even just 1% more comfortable. And then if you like, you can close your eyes, or you can lower the gaze. You might make your eyes go a little fuzzy. Maybe you choose a single point of focus. Anything so that we can block out some of the distractions that are always abundant around us and become very, very interested in our inner world. What's going on in the body? What's going on in the mind? Because those two things affect one another very, very closely. Our attitude and the things we say to ourselves and how we talk about ourselves can manifest in the body, and discomfort or ignoring the needs of the body can have a similar impact on mental health and the mind. And so we're just trying to narrow that gap. Find the breath and slow the breath way down. Make it as easy, as gentle, as long as possible. Inhaling slowly and exhaling fully. Paying attention to the chest, the belly, Inhaling to expand and exhaling to contract. Let this be enjoyable. And when the mind wanders, which it very likely will do, it's not that big of a deal. We can simply say, thinking, that was feeling. I'm going to come back to my body. How does this breath feel in the belly? How does this breath feel in the chest? And then if you have an intention to set, now is a great time to do that. My intention today is going to be, I am peaceful. We cannot always control what's going on around us, but we can usually control our reaction to it. And so with this mindset, I am peaceful, we can walk a path of less conflict, of more introspection, of responding skillfully when things get heated, or when we have a disagreement, or when the news is feeding us lots and lots of tragedy throughout the world. We can walk a path of peace. It is easy to get agitated. It is easy to follow the emotions. It is easy to get riled up. It is much more difficult, but not impossible, to settle, to take stock, to choose the response that is the peaceful response, the mature response. Breathing into the belly, holding the breath at the top for a few seconds, and exhale through the mouth. Repeating this pattern a few times, inhaling slowly and exhaling fully through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle, blowing on hot soup. And then one more like that. Allow the breathing to return to normal, in and out through the nose where you can, settling into the body and relaxing any parts that may have become constricted or tense. Shoulders down, jaw slack, relaxing the hands and the feet, and choosing this path of peace. There will always be people who like drama and tension and excitement and want to get you involved in whatever seems very pressing in their life. And it's easy if we're not paying attention to how we feel or what's actually beneficial for us that we can get caught up. But taking just a few seconds to take a breath is long enough to evaluate, oh, is this the best thing for me? And this is not selfish to say, oh, I'm going to choose the path of least resistance. I'm going to respect my mind and my body and not build up the stress and agitation that comes from getting carried away with someone else's big emotions or seeming big needs. And that gives us more capacity to check in, to help when our help is warranted, to take stock. We need to keep back the energy that we need to keep a peaceful mind, to keep a rested body. Otherwise, if we're running on empty or we're constantly running around taking care of everyone else, there might not be enough left. And we must refill the well into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and a long, slow exhale. Staying in this moment, and when the mind wanders, coming back to the breath. 3 parts into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and an easy, gentle exhale. I'll call you back in a few minutes. One more breath into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and then the longest, slowest, most gentle exhale of your day. Coming back to a normal breathing pattern, whatever feels good in your body. Let the breath be natural, be even. Then I'll invite you to visualize a very peaceful scene. Are you inside or outside? Are you by yourself or are there others with you? What's the temperature like? What comforts surround you, making this such a cozy, comfortable, relaxing place to be? Are there any sounds that you can hear? Other people, music, sounds of nature? They might be very subtle. They might be more overt. Or they might not be there at all. It might be very, very quiet in your peaceful refuge. Look around your visualization and just note what's going on around you. What can you see? What colors and textures? What shapes? This is your visualization. It can be as realistic or as fantastic as you like. You are not bound by the laws of physics in your imagination. What can you smell? What can you feel? Are you sitting, standing, lying down? What's beneath you? Can you manifest something that would make you even more comfortable, feel even more peaceful? We can keep this place tucked away in our hearts and return as often as we like. A lot of times we are reacting to external stimulus, but it's totally fine. It's really healthy actually to act from our heart space first and to say, ah, can I regulate? Can I be calm? Can I be logical? And can I be realistic about what my capacity is in this situation? And what do I have to give? And what do I need to keep for myself so that I can have this inner calm? Stay in your visualization as long as you like. We'll move into some box breathing. Inhaling, holding the breath at the top, exhaling, and holding the breath at the bottom. You might like to count 3, 4, 5 seconds for each side of the box. Or you might like to be intuitive and say, yeah, this feels about the same amount of time. This is a very regulating breath. It helps the nervous system calm down. It helps the heartbeat regulate and be slower, more even. Keep it easy. If at any point it feels like your box is adding to your stress load, make the sides shorter, or you can stop retaining the breath at all and simply inhale and exhale for an even amount of time. Find some comfort here. We have to live in our bodies all day, every day. So the more we can find comfort physically and comfort emotionally or mentally, the easier time we'll have, the more enjoyable things will be, and the less worry will be running through our head. And understanding that the brain says all kinds of things that aren't necessarily true and likely will never happen because it thinks that's what will keep you safe is the first step in being able to quiet that inner voice that says, oh, I have to do more, I have to be more, I have to go, 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 I have to respond, I have to worry. We can say, oh, thank you for your worry, thank you, but I'm going to stay in the present moment. Or, oh, yes, that did happen in the past, but it might not happen again, and I don't need to worry about it. I can stay in the present moment. Inhaling, holding the breath at the top, exhaling, and then holding the breath at the bottom for as long as feels comfortable. Maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds. until you feel a bit of air hunger. And then when you can't hold the breath any longer, breathe in slowly, gently, with ease. And then let the breath settle, return to normal. Coming back to your intention, coming back to this idea of being a peaceful person, of responding skillfully, of putting yourself first. And then bring the attention to your extremities, to the hands and feet. First, just feeling into them, and then perhaps very subtly moving the fingertips, moving the toes, coming back in the body. Maybe some gentle stretching or some organic movement. You can come back to rocking side to side or forward and back. Bringing the gentle waves of the ocean into the body, some soothing movement. And then when you're ready, there's no rush. You can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.